I'm always struck when I hear the Prime Minister talk about defence, of the difference between the threat that he talks about, which is a clear and present threat. He talks about us going on to a war fighting readiness. I mean, these are big words. And then when you scratch under the surface and look at the detail of the money that's going to pay for the capabilities that are going to keep us safe, the money's not there. I mean, there's an increase of a very small increase that's coming in by 2027, so up to 2.5%. But the real money, where we spend about 3% of our GDP on defence, that's not going to come until 2034.
if at
And
all.
actually, over the weekends, there's been this backwards and forwards between the Treasury and the MOD. They can't even agree on when that's coming.
Starmer has said this morning that he's 100% confident these plans will be delivered, and he says the review is based on defence spending going up to 2.5% of GDP, which is the firm commitment. Do you think that in order to be able to achieve the things that he's talking about, you don't think 2.5% will be adequate?
Oh, absolutely not. And you earlier, Lewis, read out a shopping list of submarines and such like. Most of those are actually going to be hitting the water in the late 2030s. So, in order for that to happen, you need to go up to 3%, which they're saying is an ambition by 2034. So, I think what we're seeing today is a vision. It's a good vision. I mean, we can quibble, if you like, about some of the details, but actually, the vision, the translation of that vision into keeping the UK safer in this very, very dangerous world, we all agree it's a very, very dangerous world, that requires money. And at the moment, it's vision today, but jam tomorrow. As he says, and I do think he does believe this, his job, the most important job that he has, is to keep the country safe. And the problem with saying that you're going to move to a war footing, but not putting any money behind it, is it sends signals to Putin that we're not taking things seriously. So what you're meant to do is talk softly and carry a big stick. But the Prime Minister's doing the opposite. He's talking a big game, but not putting money behind it. And the problem is that people like Putin may well misinterpret that and do something a bit stupid, like invading Ukraine. That was a result of a direct miscalculation by Putin as to how the West would respond. And I worry that in having defense reviews that look excellent and shiny, barring a couple of quibbles, but without putting money behind it, Putin will think, okay, well, maybe I'll have a go at Estonia, where there are 1,000 British troops working with Estonian and French colleagues under NATO. And that's a country that we're treaty pledged to defend. And so there is a danger there. The Prime Minister's playing with fire a little bit. Lib Dems actually set out several months ago how to get to 2.5% now, with a digital services tax, so increasing the tax that we already have on digital services.
The
And we've
revenues for
called
which would be pretty uncertain, as you know.
well, we don't think so, but we
Wow.
can we can quibble the difference on that. And we've called for the government to to bring the three main parties together, so Tories, Labour, and the Lib Dems, to talk about how we get to 3%. Because ultimately, all government expenditure, you either raise taxes, you cut spending, or you raise debt. And if the three main parties can agree on that, if we can agree that it is a national emergency, I think we do all agree on that now, then we can all agree on how to get to 3%. And that really is the floor for what we're talking about in terms of the capabilities that we need to deal with the threat that we face.